Today I'll be looking at what we can sow in February. Hello and welcome again to AA Home Gardening. Thank you to all my subscribers and anyone new that's watching my content, and don't mind subscribing, that will be lovely. As a gardener, I'm super excited for this month. There's so much things we can sow in February because most of the things need a roughly 7 to 8 weeks to germinate, stir it up before they go outside as soon as the frost is finished. So in my zone, the average frost is between the 11th of March to the 20th of March. So from the 1st of February to the 11th of March, that's 7 weeks. Okay, so 7 to 8 weeks, I'll be able to go outside and plant most things. So I'm going to look at some of the things that I'm going to plant. This is not an exhausted list. I'm just mentioning some of the things I'm planting. Otherwise, this video will take hours, okay? Because February is a good month, okay? So if you're sowing from seed, we need to get the seed started. But there's a caution. We're still in the heart of winter, okay? So if you have like a greenhouse or a cold frame or a polytunnel, then you can start a bit earlier. And if you don't have those, you normally give a 2 to 3 weeks and start afterwards, okay? So if you have the polytunnel or the cold frame to go in, then you can start as soon as February start, okay? Aren't you excited? So I'm going to look at some of the things that I've already sown indoor on the propagator and LED light that I started already. So this is one of my tomato plants. You can see the true leaves coming through. So this one is a baby plum tomato, okay? So with tomatoes, they have to be careful. If you don't have a eating mat or a LED light or anything to keep it warm, I would delay planting it until like the middle of February. Otherwise, it can become too leggy, and then if it's so leggy, then sometime when you go outside, it won't be so resistant to disease, okay? But if you look at this cup, the soil is only halfway up. I did that purposely. No, with tomato, as soon as it grow up and I reach over the cup here, I will fill it up with soil, compost. So what happened, wherever the compost touches on the stem of the tomato, it will root, it will send down extra roots. And then we give the root more strength and it will be more sturdy. So if you're planting it in cups like this, I would advise you to just fill it up halfway, sow your tomato seeds, and then as soon as you keep growing, you keep topping up with soil, okay? So that's one of the things I would do. So these are some of the tomatoes, and these will go straight in my polytunnel, okay? So I'm starting these. So this was started from the 20th of January. And then in February, I'll be planting loads more tomatoes. So I'll be planting like my beefsteaks, my Roma, all those things we planted in this month. This is a good month. Next month is spring. It sounds funny, but right in the out of winter, but next month is spring. So the end of next month. So I have a couple tomatoes there. I also started some eggplant. So this was sown on the 18th of the 1st. One popping up there, another one coming. So no, with our season, it's a funny thing in the UK. We can have some good summer. We can have some very wet summer. We can have a bit of a chill summer, not too hot. So most of these things need extra time to mature, to start indoor. So as soon as the weather warm up, then we can get a good crop, okay? So start them indoor, get them sturdy, and remember, with all these things, you need to climatize them when you're taking them out. Don't just take them from outside, straight outside. You don't want to lose your seedlings, okay? So remember, you take them out for a couple hours, one day, increase the hours and things like that before you put them outside. So I have tomatoes, I have peppers as well. I have some nice sweet pepper here. You know, I don't know about you, but usually every year, most year, when my peppers are in full bloom and they're ready to produce loads, then the weather changes, okay? So this year, I decided to start my peppers super early. Get the seeding going indoor, get them as sturdy as possible, and then when spring comes, then I get a good head start on these, okay? So this is my sweet pepper also have some cayenne pepper. I have some cayenne pepper as well, growing up nicely. These were sown from the 3rd of January. That's where they've reached. So hopefully by next month I have a nice little baby plant to plant outside. So I have lots of things. I have my collards going on lovely. If you look at what to plant in January, these were tiny seedlings. You can see I pot it up into a bigger pot, recycle, and I love to recycle. So I pot it up in a bigger pot, and you can see it's looking beautiful. So it's almost ready to go outside. So that's my collards. So I have loads of things that I've started sowing already, and February going to be one of the busiest months ever. So I have tomatoes, I have all those things. And then remember your herbs. So I have some oregano just coming up there. So remember your oregano, your basils, parsley, chives, all those things. Remember to sow those if you're starting them from seed. But apart from all those things, if you want to have some lovely flowers bed to attract the bees, you can start sowing some seeds for flower seeds. So I have my echinacea there, and you can see them popping up. And this was sown on the 20th of the 1st. So anything that you want to start from seed, please do start. This is the month to start. And if you haven't got your seed yet, you need to make haste and get your seeds, okay? So those are some of the things I have. And then was it a week ago? I was sowing some onions from seed. It was the 21st of January. And if you look closely, you can see some of the onions popping up. Okay, so there's progress going on there. So there's loads of things, you know, there's coriander, there's herbs, there's a lot of things that have started indoor already. But as you know, January is a good month. So if I put this over there, so February is a good month to start loads of things. So we're going to look at some of the seeds that I'll be sowing in February. Okay, so I've mentioned cayenne pepper. So pepper of any sort, sweet pepper, hot pepper, whatever pepper you need to sow your seeds. You need a good 8 weeks. Sow them indoor. Get a nice healthy seedling. So as soon as spring comes and the herd can be worked, the frost is gone, it's not frozen, then you need to get your peppers out. You need to get it started, okay? So if you haven't got your pepper started, but the only thing is, if you don't have anywhere to keep it warm, there's a caution because pepper loves heat. So if you take any of these containers I mentioned before, it's a clay container, put a cling thing over it to mimic a greenhouse environment, it will actually sprout much quicker, okay? And put it somewhere warm. Even the top of your fridge, that's quite warm up there. Most people think of windowsill and things like that, but the top of the fridge is super warm, so you can put some of the things that need extra heat on top of the fridge, okay? So I have all those things. So I've mentioned your herbs, so you have your chives and all those things. If you're planning to have a herb garden, get them in, okay? But you need to remember, spring could come early and it could be delayed because in the UK, sometimes the winter seems to linger on. But last year, spring was really, really good. So you don't want to be caught off. You need to be prepared. So get your seeds in, get them started, and do your best for the ones that need to stay warm to either mimic the environment or buy some propagator or a heating mat so you can get going, okay? So last year, I started all my tomatoes in February. And I didn't have any issues with any legginess. I didn't lose any of those. And if you go back into my playlist, you will see that I was harvesting tomatoes even into November. Nice tomatoes. And these things are expensive in the nursery at the shops. So if you don't want to spend loads on plants, seeds is much cheaper, okay? There are certain types of carrots. We have early carrots that we can sow in February. And I like this particular one. This is one of the early ones. But what I like about it is, you know, carrot seeds are really tiny and annoying to work with. But they have these strips for you. So you can see the seeds in there. So literally just lay it in the ground, and it actually space out the carrots for you. Okay, you actually space it out. You just plant it like that, so you don't have to mess around with the extra tiny seeds or anything like that. So if you're planting carrots, look at the variety that you have. Is it early sowing carrots or mid? So look at it. There's certain carrots we can plant now. Okay, then if you haven't got your sweet peas or your meteor peas, these peas, sweet peas, you can get them, you can start them now. This is, if you look at the instruction, they normally give an idea. So this one is like from January to March that you need to get these started. So I will start these indoor in sowing trays, get them started, and then transplant them outside. Okay, so there's loads of things you can plant in February. What you need to remember is that February is the month next door to spring, so we need to get our seeds in. And then our courgettes, these grow very, very quickly, but you need them to be a good size, so as soon as the weather warms up, we will be harvesting in no time, because these grow so fast. Okay, so get your courgettes or zucchini depending on where you're living. Get these in. These make lovely bread. I have a friend in America who is always making courgette breads, so these are so nice in fritters and all those things. So get those in. So much things we can plant. Remember our kale, you know, like narrow kale. So get your kale started in the cool season. They love to be sown in the cool season. Get these started. I have so much kale in the garden, in the polytunnel, all over at different stages. So I always have kale. Get these started, okay? I've started some eggplant already. I'll be sowing some more this month. I'm going to stagger my planting as well. So what I'm planning to do from this month is to plant every 2 weeks. So when I finish harvesting, or a plant is dying or is finished, then I have new ones coming up. I'm not going to wait until one is totally finished, then go and sow some more. I'm going to stagger it every 2 weeks. Okay? So there's loads and loads of things. Think about what you like to eat and plant those things. Okay? And remember, planting from seed is so much cheaper than going to the nursery. In my area, minimum is like £2.50 for one plant. And then roughly you want at least 3 of each in your garden. It does add up, okay? So we have beetroot. And remember, you start your beetroot indoor and you can eat the new shoots. It's just like a microgreen. So you can eat some of these and leave some to plant out afterwards, okay? So there's few things left in my basket. Then you have my little turnip, the purple top turnip there. These can be sown now. They can be sown inside to transplant outside. So February is a very, very busy month. Okay. Then cucumbers. It depends again on the variety of cucumber that you have. So you look at the ones that are advised to start in spring planting. So I have I harvest some of my cucumber seeds from last year. I'll be sowing those as well. And then I have 3 more varieties of cucumbers to plant. Have you ever tried cucumber juice? With just a hint of ginger. It's so refreshing. So try growing some cucumbers. And remember, if you don't have space, you can companion plant. Okay? So like last year, my strawberry bed had loads of onions in. And I got some nice juicy harvest of onions from a strawberry bed. And it does wonders because you have the strawberry and the onions growing together. So you're saving in space. But also the onion acts like a pest control for the strawberry, because the strong smell of the onion actually helps the strawberry to be pest free as much as possible to help reduce the pests. Okay, so try some companion planting this year. Then your brassicas and your things like your cabbage, things like that, you can start sowing these indoors. Okay, just make some makeshift greenhouse scenarios or go out and get yourself some propagator. We need to start sowing because next month is around the corner. Okay, so all your brassicas, I've mentioned all year round cauliflower before in the earlier part of the season, but now that it's getting towards spring, there are different types of cauliflowers. This one I think is called cheesy. So I have the all year round, and I have different types of practicals and everything that can be sown this month. So these are some of the things that I'm going to sow this month. This is not an exhausted list. This is just some of the things I'm planting. But I would like to know, what are you planning to plant this month? Because sometimes you forget, you know, sometimes I have so much things planting and you forget some of the things. So let me know below what you're planning to sow in February, if you're planning to sow in February, or are you waiting until March to sow your seeds? Okay, and then I can look below and revise my list to see if there's anything missing that I need to add. So I'll be planting other things as well, but these are some of the things that we can plant in the month of February. Aren't you excited? Spring is around the corner. I don't know, I can't tell you how excited I am. I have more space to work with. Previously, I just had a garden and there's limited space there. Now I have the allotment to fill with produce. So I'm super excited. So thanks for watching. Thanks for viewing. And please remember to click that notification bell. So until next time, any comment, please state below. And we'll speak soon. Take care.
Like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell.